Welcome, guys, back to the live streams. If you are new here, drop a like, drop a subscribe button, put the post notifications on so you guys get alerted when I go live. It's good to see everyone in the chat. Merkel, Khalid, walaikum salam, Stilyan, Singh, good to see everyone in the live stream. Hand, Black, Happy, AA, your hands. How is everyone doing? SY, good to see you, my friend. Boys, let's smash the like button and let's start with the live stream. Now, today, let's talk about 5 of the best projects that we can basically DCA this month, the next month, into December as well. Now, keep in mind, there is a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. This is why we're seeing Bitcoin crash, consistently throughout this month. This is a historically bearish month. Sentiment is at all-time lows. Bitcoin continues to go lower. It had a retest, now it went back up, and then it just keeps going back and forth, but it has gone below this point right here. I think it went as low as 55K. So, right now, everyone is waiting for unemployment data tomorrow. This is why you guys need to DCA accordingly. Do not buy every 5% drop, because by the time the real drop happens, everyone runs out of USDT, or they buy a certain project way too quickly and they continues to go lower. You have to be very careful what you do. Like I said, don't DCA every 5% drop in any coin. It doesn't matter how good the coin is. Don't DCA every 5% drop when the market is at the state that it is now. Everyone is scared. Gold is breaking out. USDT dominance is going higher, meaning that people are being risk off. This is the whole point. Now, we have unemployment data, as I said, tomorrow. That is going to be a big indicator in how the market's going to move forward. So do not DCA heavy at the moment. If you want to buy some projects, little amounts, $50 or 50 USDT here, small, tiny amounts across the board. I will give you 5 projects to DCA tiny amounts throughout this month. I always tell people, don't DCA every 5% drop. DCA crashes. DCA, buy bigger amounts when there's crashes in the markets. If you just DCA every 5% drop, by the time the crashes happens, you're not going to have no USDT left. If you do, you're going to have very little. So, be very careful how you guys buy these projects. When I tell you guys buy this project, I'm talking about DCA these projects and very small amounts. Every single stream that I do, I'll tell you guys the market, the macro conditions. And most of the time, I've told you guys, at the moment, September is always bearish. It's always historically bearish. And I've always said, if you don't have a massive crash, in September, it will happen in December. There's going to be either or. It's going to happen by the end of the year. There will be one more big crash, in my opinion, where there is a recession scare. Stocks are all-time highs, and they still haven't dropped enough, for the Fed to come to the rescue. So the Fed needs to do something to crash the markets enough for them to come to the rescue. It's a battle between consumers and the Fed. The Fed right now is winning. The consumers are losing. This is why our altcoins are down. This is why Bitcoin is going down. This is why stocks crashed a little bit yesterday, is because the consumer is trying to make you feel poor, so you have less spending power. Therefore, inflation goes down accordingly. That's all it is. Let's get into some of the comments. Happy, good to see you, my friend. Have you noticed that since the SOL hype is gone, they have slowed down on making new AI cryptos, and now the new cryptos coming out are gaming cryptos, might have a gaming run. That is also true, Black. We've already had an AI run in January and February. Why? Because NVIDIA kept putting in new highs. That led to a massive rally in the AI category. Now there's more gaming projects being launched. That is true. The problem is the gaming sphere is very highly saturated. There's too many gaming projects. There's more coming out every other day. I prefer to invest into the older ones that everyone knows. as those are more or less guaranteed to pump over the ones that have 30%, 40%, 50% early investor, in the whole fully diluted. Be very careful which gaming projects you guys buy. A lot of the new ones are very greedy, they're very early investor focused, and those are the ones that are going to be very, very hard to perform any crazy amounts of gains. Yes, they will pump. When the narrative takes off, everything pumps. You have to buy the ones that's going to give you the most money. That's the best way to see it. Good to see you, Trust. Boys, smash the like button as well. I will not be live for too long today as I have football in like an hour and a half. So, like an hour actually. So, I'll be live for like an hour, 10 minutes, and then I'll get off. Hey, good to see you, buddy. Wait, what? Turned 300 into 3 on Bet Online, getting ready. My friend, just get the money anyhow, any way possible. Do not worry how you get it. Martin, good to see you. Jason, very good to see you as well, my friend. Let's go through some of the comments. Smash the like and Wayne's your daddy. I don't think a lot of people understand that one. G-Man, good to see you as well. Dyson, Spicy, Miffy, in crypto, Noah. Nora, how you doing? Price of Tectum. Yeah, my friend. So Tectum, for those of you that this is one of the projects on the list. Now, I would not be DCA in Tectum at the moment. I do think it will go and retest its previous lows at around $5, maybe five, 4.5. It will go back down to its previous lows at some point. If it holds here, then I will DCA. At the moment, the whole market is going down, and I do think Tectum will follow. Now, despite that, if you go guys look at Tectum's Twitter, just go look at the Twitter right now. Their soft nodes are out now. You can actually use soft nodes now. And this is something they decided to do on a public, live, where they send soft nodes, to each other. There's like 4 of the team members sending soft nodes to each other. And it will run very smoothly, no issues, nothing at all. This is a very good indicator because the payment, as crypto gets mass adopted, there is platforms that we need to use Bitcoin as a form of payment. And soft nodes are, in my opinion, revolutionary and the best in the crypto space. This is why, despite the market dipping, despite this almost going back down to its previous lows, I've remained bullish on this project. I've told you guys to accumulate. If you guys listened to me, you would have been up, double your current investment that you invested, literally like 2-3 weeks ago before the market went off. This is a project that continues to work. At one point it was just a concept, and now they have an actual product out. You can go test it out. It's live on the App Store and the Google Store. And these guys was talking about everything on the live stream. I do recommend you guys go watch this live stream they had over here. It's like an hour long, but it's a very good indicator, of a project that's building regardless of market conditions. Do not worry about price action in a bearish market. Some projects will dip more than others. That does not mean they are rug pull. Go look at the Twitter, see what the team's doing. Are they still building? Are they still forming partnerships? Are they still developing the project? If they are, then that project is still going to perform when the market flips bullish. So this is one of the projects on the list. Those of you guys that are not aware of Tectum, Tectum is a layer 1 and a layer 2. By the end of this year, they will have the SDKs live. You can ultimately build on them, and they are at the moment the fastest tested blockchain with a 3.5 million TPS. Now, there is other projects that claim more TPS. I don't know, I haven't been following them, but they have not been fully tested, whereas Tectum has been tested. So as far as it stands, it is the fastest blockchain in the crypto space. And as well as this is also a layer 2 to Bitcoin, as well as having the revolutionary tech. So it will pump, it has very different categories that it can pump under: the BRC20 narrative, the layer 1 narrative, and the payment narrative, or the DeFi. You could class it as a DeFi narrative. When you say last dump September or December, do you consider election? Because I don't think we've had any bad months, immediate election. Yeah, so I don't consider the election because the election is going to happen in November. And historically, October, November and December are bullish. But obviously, in December, after the third rate cut, we find out what sort of landing we have. Is it going to be a hard landing? Is it going to be a soft landing? Is it going to be a deflationary crash? Whatever the narrative is, we will find out at the end of the year. This is why I tell people as a hard landing is not guaranteed because if the Fed decides to cut early, you have to throw the soft landing, the hard landing out the window because it's very unlikely to happen if the Fed starts cutting. If they pivot, a rate cut is not a pivot. There's a significant difference between a pivot and a rate cut. A rate cut is a step forward to a pivot, but a pivot is when the Fed adds to the balance sheet and they're ready to start printing their way out trillions of dollars in a very short period of time. That is a pivot. Cutting rates, a rate cut takes 2 years to affect the economy. So if they cut by 25 basis points, it's not going to do too much to the market. If anything, it's just going to completely, it's just going to be sell the news event, if anything. So this is why we wait for the Fed to pivot. That will be the indicator to start buying alts heavy. I've always said the dominance needs to go hit 60%. With USDT, it just hit 60%. Without USDT, it's about 57, almost 58%. So it's slowly climbing. It's very slowly climbing. It doesn't matter which way Bitcoin goes. I do think alts will continue to slowly bleed throughout the end of the year. Is my top narrative AI versus? Well, I like AI better, but I think those two are the best narratives, my friend. AI and RWA are the biggest narratives. Why? Because obviously everyone knows there's very few good AI projects in the crypto space. Most of them are just ChatGPT more or less, or copy, or just basic LLMs. AI generation, text generation. There's plenty of those, right? But there's very few AI projects that are actually using AI or trying to develop AI. And then we have RWA, but there's only 150 RWA projects in the entire crypto space. There's thousands of AI. There's multiple thousands of gaming. Gaming is probably the most diluted sector apart from meme coins in the crypto space. So I would potentially start to grab more AI and RWA because BlackRock wants to tokenize everything. I've been telling people to buy RWA since 2022. So I've been bullish on it for a very long time. I think RWA will continue to grow. I think because it's not a very saturated sector, you can buy pretty much anything. When the narrative takes off, you will make money. I like to buy the ones that give you the most money. That's the whole point. You're not a genius if you buy an RWA project now and it pumps a 5x or a 10x. That doesn't make you a genius or 15x. Like I said, at this stage in the market, you could buy anything. And when the market flips bullish, you will be in profits. However, you are a genius for finding the ones that's going to give you the most gains. And that's what I've done in a private group. I've given 3 of the best RWA projects in the crypto space, in my opinion. Other people will have other coins. Some people spam 8 coins and try to claim all 8, which I think that's a bit childish. Yeah, that's also true. I mean, look, anyone in the comment section that's joking around saying Sensay and oh, it's a scam, they're just joking around, my friends. Do not take that serious. We just had a little incident on a private stream yesterday. Buzz, good to see you. Pip, good to see you. Professor K, how you doing, buddy? Do I think GPU processing will be a narrative? I think GPU in itself, DP narrative, will be a narrative. It pumps with AI, and I think AI is going to be the leading narrative. AI is going to be ever developing. It's arguably the future. It is only going to continue to get better and better. As that happens, everyone's going to be talking about AI, and it's going to therefore be the biggest narrative. When retail comes back into crypto, and there's some new big AI news, Microsoft or whatever the case is, any of those could develop something new, and that could lead to a massive, pump in the crypto space. That's all it is. This is how crypto works. It's very easy stuff, very A lot of the Web2 stuff develops and influences the pumps in the Web3 space. I think so, yeah. AA, that's exactly right. I think the VCs and the projects launching on high diluted basically ruined most of these very good projects. There's so many good projects launching now that if you was to buy them last year and they had very good vesting schedules, you would have made 50x, 100x, 30x on most of them. But now they're going to give you minimum returns because of the dilution. Because if you go look at how much of the percentage of the supply is held by early investors, most of them are minimum 30. Whereas back in 2023, 2022 times, you're looking about 5, 6%. If it was 10%, you would consider it as too high. Now, if it's 30% and these new projects, you'll think that's decent. Most of them are minimum 40%, which I think is way too high, is ridiculous. Turbo Day tomorrow. Yeah, I don't really buy too many meme coins, my friend. I know I've only ever held one meme coin. That's it, and I don't even talk about memes on my channel. Asif, good to see you, my friend. Can you explain the soft landing and hard landing and the consensus of both? Yeah, so my friend, if you get a soft landing, it's very bullish for the market. I mean, technically, if you have more USDT, which my group does, or people that's been watching me on YouTube, you would have more USDT. So my point is, if you get a hard landing and you have USDT, is more beneficial because you can probably grab, the projects that the prices now. If you get a hard landing, you'll probably get like 3 times the amount of tokens for a very small amount of money. If you get a hard landing, because everything will crash. Don't look at the price. Look at the amount of tokens you're gonna have, because there's multiple projects that have gone down 99% and then gone down another 99% and gone to do hundreds of X's. So it doesn't really mean nothing. You have to worry about the amount of tokens you have. That's what I look at. I don't look at price action. I look at, if I got alt, for example, at 10, 12, 11, whatever the case is, cents, now it's at 7 cents, 8 cents. Now I could buy way more tokens than I could have back then. You see what I'm saying? Don't DCA alt at the moment. It needs to hold a price before we DCA. I don't like buying projects that's continuously going lower and lower. You have to wait for it to stabilize before we buy. So a hard landing is more beneficial. A hard landing is, we'll get a recession announcement, something in the system breaks. A soft landing is they do everything basically right, which is kind of hard. And then we can have a deflationary crash, which is basically another form of hard landing. If I could pick only 3 projects from my list, what would they be? If I could only pick 3 projects in my list, I would pick one in every single sector, because, like I said, if you hold one AI project and you have to wait months before we get through gaming, before we get through RWA. So the best thing to do is look at the best projects in each category. So for gaming, I would go for OTK. For RWA, I would go for Realio. And then for AI, I would go with alt. Why? Because even though AGI and AI tech and all these other, they're more fundamentally stronger because they've experienced a run, they survived this massive dump. Alt hasn't experienced that run yet. So that means when the market turns bullish and AI becomes a narrative, every single person is going to focus on the newer projects, the ones that haven't pumped crazy yet. And this is where Sensay is going to come into play. So you could pick. Those are the top 3 I would pick, or OTK and Sensay, or even I mean not Sensay, sorry, Realio. That's what I would pick, because then you got the best projects in each category. AI tech or AI versus ASI, what would you pick? Well, first of all, my friend, ASI is like $3-4 billion in market cap, or I don't know, $2 billion in market cap. So, that's going to give you minimum returns, even though that's probably a way stronger project than AI tech, because that's a combination of all 3, the top 3 in AI combined. Obviously, ASI fundamentally and is a lot better, but in terms of if you want to make more money, you have to go with AI tech. That's all it is. That's my reason, my friend. So if it all depends, if you're a safe investor and you only want a 2-3x or 5x, then or 10x or something, go with ASI. If you want the more 20x's, 30x's, all the way to a 50x, then go for AI tech. You say something, say something about Munity and Chirply. Yeah, because my friend Munity, I barely talk about Munity on my channel because it's 1% of my portfolio or even less. Munity should be a small percentage of your portfolio. Chirply, it should be a very small percentage of your portfolio. I think both projects will still perform. I still hold both of them myself. But I don't like talking about projects that are small percentages because I always tell people you buy something in Unity, you buy whatever bag you want, and just don't look at it for like a year, and then you come back to it when the gaming narrative's pumped. That's all it is. It's a very small percentage of my portfolio. That's why I barely talk about it, my friend. And Chirply is the same thing. I hold Chirply myself, but it's a very small percentage of my portfolio. Oh shit! Hold on, let me put my laptop in charge. Okay, sorted. Now let's move on to the next project. I think we got a donation actually. Let me see. Khalid, my friend, I appreciate the £10. I didn't even see the I just seen it now. Appreciate Khalid, my friend. Khalid's like the top donator now in my stream, but I appreciate you, Khalid, my friend. Now let's talk about the second project on the list. The second DCA this month or whenever the market crashes, from this point on, unless you're DCA in small amounts, do not DCA, large amounts until we crash, until we have a decent correction in Bitcoin. For now, just be patient. If you're going to buy very small amounts. The next project on the list is Sensay. For those of you that are not aware of what Sensay does, is ultimately the concept of digital immortality. And this concept can get very, very good adoption, I would say, because it caters to everyone. You could have a replica of yourself that can ultimately live on forever. It has multiple use cases. This is not just, digital immortality, is AI agents as well as gaming. It also tackles the gaming narrative. Why? Because they create NPCs for gaming. It's very similar to what AGI was when it was, way lower in market cap, back in November. It's very similar to that. Why? Because they're developing AI agents, even though Lucy is different because they have an AI agent Dex. These guys have a working product. You could go actually now create an account on Sensei's website and you can build yourself a replica. I've done it. I made a Rambo replica. I can go make myself a normal replica. And these replicas, the more you interact with it, the better it becomes. These guys have very big partnerships with the likes of, AI tech, not AI tech, sorry, Fetch AI, AGIX, Ocean. These guys are very close to Fetch AI, meaning that they have closer ties to ASI. Fetch AI is giving them multiple shout outs. They follow them. I don't think they've given them a shout out, but they follow them on Twitter. And these guys, work side by side with Fetch AI and WorldCoin and some other. And another good thing about this, it has good token utility because think of it like this: you can now use Sensei, sorry, and you can book holidays with it through Travala. They have a partnership with Travala, so you can book holidays, you can book hotels using your Sensei tokens. So when this does like 50x, 100x, whatever it does in the bull run, I will be booking a holiday with Sensei live on stream. That's what I would do. That's good token utility, in my opinion. Ron's good to see you, my friend. First time seeing you on the channel. What's my thoughts on GPT and Kasparov? Never heard of Kasparov, whatever that's called. But Chain GPT is a pretty good project, in my opinion. I think it's a very good project. Nothing wrong with that project at all. Eddie, how you doing, buddy? Best YouTube content on YouTube. Hit the like, guys. Eddie, I appreciate you, my friend. It's very good to see you on the stream as well. I don't normally see you on the streams, but it's very good to see you. So if alts bleed till the end of the year, we hold our DCA right now in DCA in December because all the alts will be at the lowest. Well, this is the thing, my friend. It's not guaranteed because if we get a harsh data tomorrow on unemployment, the market will price everything in advance. So we don't know. This is why I told people, in my private group, just be chill for now. Let's see what unemployment comes in at, because that will dictate how the market will move forward. We can kind of see from the unemployment data if there's going to be a more risk off or risk on environment. So I'm not touching anything at the moment. When a project dipping, what is the wisdom of waiting for the project to consolidate before buying? Well, my friend, the whole point is if a project continues to go down and you DCA every 5% drop, you're just gonna be buying, as it goes lower, and it misses the whole point of a DCA. You have to wait for it to consolidate, hold the price before DCAing, because what's the point of buying something that's continuously going lower? If you buy something that goes lower, you buy now, and then 2 days later it continues to go down, you buy again, and then 4 days later it goes down again. But you're gonna run out of money by the time you could have bought everything if you just waited at a way better price, and your averages are gonna be way lower. You see the difference? No, I'm not a black screen, my friend. I think it's not a black screen. It's just the only thing that happened was I put my laptop in, and my laptop was almost run out of charge. Appreciate the 10 as well, Khalid, my friend. G for real, goodbye initial letter. Yeah, if you don't have any initials in these projects, fundamentally these are very good time. The next project on the list is actually Realio. So let's go into the next project on the list. Now, for those of you that don't hold any other BA project, I would say this is the best one, in my opinion. Obviously, fundamentally, there's way better projects than Realio, but they are way higher in market cap. And like I said, we want to make the most money. We don't want to just make a 5x or 10x, because fundamentally, the top 100 projects are fundamentally stronger than all the other ones. Fundamentally, they've been around longer, they've survived a lot of bull runs, they've got more money, whatever the case is. But we want to make the most gains. So I think for a mid cap RWA project, Realio is the best one. Why? Because they're very established. If you go look at most of the Twitter shitters, they talk about Realio, the whole Realio. There's so many Twitter shitters that hold Realio, and they shit it during the RWA pump. This is why, this pumped like around 30x. Well, this done like a 300x fundamentally. Around those regions, if you bought in somewhere near the lows, it's done at least 100x, I would say. But if you bought anywhere between like 1 cent or 1.2, 1.3, which it dipped down to, sometime in January, I think it was, or can't remember when it was, but you would have ultimately made a good amount on Realio. When it was around 10 cents in last year before the market flipped bullish, you would have basically made a 30x on this at the heights. This was one of the best performers in the RWA narrative. Obviously, there was other projects like SMT that done well. There's a bunch of different ones, but all the two issues, let's talk about this project specifically. I do think it will continue to perform. If you don't hold any Realio at all, this is not a bad time to DCA. The market cap is approximately 33 to 40 million, around those ranges. There's no more dilution for this project. It's 100% in circulation. They've got a working product. There's like two big institutions that's giving Realio millions of dollars to develop, to tokenize. I do think tokenization is going to continue to grow. I think it will be one of the leading narratives in the next bull run. This is why I'm more bullish on RWA than gaming. So this is the next project on the list. Like I said, they've got big institutions backing them. They've got massive funding from those big institutions. I think it was around $3 million that the institution gave them to develop their products. The only thing that I would say I would criticize this project is the fact that they're not very active on the Twitter. Now, this is this is understandable considering they have a finished product. They have a finished product. People are utilizing them. It's like, what more can they do? The only thing these guys can do now is form partnerships and basically get a few more exchange listings. But these already have tier one listings. It's already got OKX, they got HTX, KuCoin, Mexi, Gate. No, they've got, I don't know if they got Gate. Have they got Gate? They don't have Gate, but they've got very good exchanges overall. And they got very good volume as well. Volume is very, very healthy. 4 million volume, which is pretty good in my opinion. It's such in a dead market. So for now, if you don't hold a single bag of this project, I would consider hitting a DCA on this project. This is, I do think this will go somewhere in the 50s, low 50s. That would probably be the best time to accumulate this. What is the percentage chance? It's going to be very unlikely, my friend. I always tell people, what are the chances of not getting a bull run? I would say is extremely low because there's two options that America has. Is very two simple options. One of the options is they could go and default on the debt, and could go into a massive depression. America will lose its number one global spot in the world, and therefore, maybe the likes of China will be the next superpower in the world. Do you honestly think that America is going to give up that position and go into the depression because they no longer have the infrastructure to get out of a deep depression in a very short period of time? They will collapse the whole world, but because China has the best infrastructure, they build everything within the country, they could sell way more stuff than what America could do. They will be the first country to get out of the depression. They will be the next global superpower. I do not see America doing something that stupid, committing suicide because they want to default on the debt. So the only thing, this whole payment system, this fiat system is made to crash at some point. They will do it to the point where they can't print no more, where inflation's through the roof. They haven't, inflation's like 2 point something percent. It's not through the roof yet. Eventually, they need a reset. And that reset comes, the world's going to be a whole new place. There's going to be new superpowers. The whole world's going to change. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Why? Because they're going to continue to print. So you guys don't have to worry about the chances of not going to be a bull run. Technically, we've never been in a bull run because we haven't gone into QE yet. We had a massive rally because of the ETFs, but that was short-lived. And this is what happens when we're in QE. We get these very short-lived rallies, which lasted around 4 months, 5 months or something. And then we continue to go lower because the ETFs made the market get ahead of themselves. So the market got way too ahead of themselves. We started pumping ridiculous amounts. Now we're getting back into line with the normal cycle. The normal cycle, Bitcoin should be anywhere between 40 to 50K. And that's a healthy amount to where Bitcoin is supposed to be at this late in the market. So do not worry and think, the crypto is going down is the end of the bull run. That's not the case. This is what they want you to think. They shake as much people out as possible during this stage in the market. Why? Because, they're the only people that have not been selling Bitcoin is BlackRock. BlackRock that controls the entire world. They own everything more or less in the West. I don't know about other countries, but they own everything in the West. They own shares in every single country, every company. They're the only company, institution that's not selling Bitcoin. They're holding their Bitcoin. Do you honestly think, they will be buying at the top and holding their bags if there was not going to be a bull run? Don't think of all these stupid Twitter shillers and these YouTubers are saying they probably bought at the top in March and they've lost a shit ton of money and now they flip bearish. There's people, these YouTubers are people like me and you. They don't know how to play the markets. They get wrecked and then they flip bearish, or they're 100% in the markets and they're perma bulls. Go look at what the institutions are doing. That is what's going to move the markets. Those are the people that's going to move the markets. That's the best advice I can give you guys, my friends. I don't have a lithium, but I think a lithium is a good project. If you hold in your portfolio, no problems at all. Unemployment, my friend, unemployment data comes out. Big crash, recession, depression, the grizzly market starts in November, and this is not even pessimistic now. No, my friend, look, we've already been in a recession, bro. The recession started in 2022. They just never announced it. A recession is 2 negative GDPs consecutively, and we had that back in 2022. But when they announced the recession, it means that we're already coming out of the recession. Inflation's down to 2.9%, which is a good amount. They're never going to get to the 2%. The Fed's not stupid. They know they printed too much. They can never get to that 2%. It's all more or less impossible. There's showing a lot of cracks in the market. They're going to come to the rescue at some point, my friend. It's that simple. Like I said, is either they do that or they go into a massive depression, which they're not going to do. So, don't get too, look, you're going to get wrecked, my friend. That's all I'm going to tell you. You're going to get wrecked. You're going to FOMO in when the market goes bullish again. You're going to make minimum returns because you're too pessimistic. Just play the markets how the institutions are playing the markets. No, Sensay is not going to go that low. It's very unlikely that Sensay will go that low, my friend. I hope it does. I would fill up my bags way more there, but it's very unlikely it will though. Even during this massive crash, Sensay is one of the tokens that's been holding up extremely well, very, very well. It went from 10.4, whatever the case is, 7 days ago when the market is crashing. Just look at that chart. This is the last month. It's barely dumped. People look at this as but most other coins are down 15%. The big coins, AGIX, Render, the top 100 coins, most of them are down 16%. This is outperforming all of them. So, it's very unlikely that we go that low unless we get some sort of big crash. Then maybe it could be possible, but these micro caps hold up really well. What's the market cap of Realio that could hit this month in the bull run? It's hard to say, my friend. It's impossible to say what the market cap. I do think it could reach $1 billion in market cap. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. How many spots left in the private group? Let me check right now. I think there's like 25 spots left in the private group. 25. There's 25 spots, I'm pretty sure. Let me go on my Discord. Let me just quickly have a look. And this is one of the benefits of being in a private group. During these shitty times when everyone's shitting their pants, everyone is scared, you go into a private group, you have everyone that's on the same page as you, everyone that's serious about the bull run. You can keep your calm there. If you're by yourself, you can go through 1,000 different emotions. You probably sell your bags and pretend to buy back lower. That always gets people wrecked. There's a bunch of stupid things that people do when they don't have a network. Don't think of it as a private group. Think of it as a network with big whales. I got most of my group are whales. There's people in my group worth, in the tens of hundreds. Well, I wouldn't say hundreds, but in the tens of millions. There's a lot of big players in my group. This is why I'm limiting mine. I probably have more buy power in my group than groups that's probably got 500 to 800 people in the group, because I got big players and whales, that I work with personally in my group. Why do you think, in advance, when you see these massive wicks on Sensay, who do you think is getting these guys to buy these massive wicks here? These are my whale friends accumulating my projects. This is and these whales are going to get other whales to accumulate. This is why all the projects I tend to call perform really well. Is a lot of, you can, just one person alone that has a lot of connections can make a project pump. It's not hard. It's like if you just get a bunch of whales to accumulate and they don't want to sell because they're holding it for the bull run, the price stays stable, especially when there's a micro cap. This is why the likes of Sensay barely dumps, because there's a bunch of people in my group, there's a bunch of people in other groups that's holding this for the bull run, and they're not going to sell for a 5% drop because they'll probably accumulate more. So, there's just how it is in crypto, my friends. But a private group is a network. Think of it as a network. In the bull run, you might not find the trades, but in a private group of 300 people, I guarantee you one of those people will find a very good trade when the narrative, a gaming narrative is hot, the RWA narrative is hot, the AI narrative is hot. That's what you gotta think of it as. You're paying a small price for the amount you're gaining. Like I said, if you wasn't in my private group, you would have been DCAing every 5% drop. Most people have run out of USDT now. People in my group have got 30% in USDT, 10% USDT, 15%. Some of them are even 50% in USDT because of what I've told them in advance. So if you guys do want to join, you guys can join through here. I'm not going to keep talking about it. Let's get on to the next project. Actually, let me go through a few of the comment sections. Russ, good to see you, my friend. It's always good to see Russ in the chat, bro. Also got into Injective a few days ago. Yeah, look, Injective PIP is actually a good token. It bounces back very quick. You could always just trade injective and just get rid of it. Um, Martin, good to see you. What do I think about ISIP? Look, ISIP is not too bad. I do think it's a decent project, a very good concept, but it's very unlikely to give you crazy amounts of gains. Just look at the history of this project. It had a very good pump over here, 0.3, approximately at 10x. So it's not anything crazy. This is more of a trade than a long-term hold. It's a very old token, very old token. But like I said, the highest market cap it's been to is 15 million, which is about a 12 to 13x from the current price. But I do think this will pump at some point. But I would personally be buying other projects over this, my friend. But this is not a bad trade, though. It's not a bad trade. I don't think it's a bad project at all. I personally would not be buying it. Tell us something about Suri and Aptos. Yeah, look, Suri is a good project. If it depends what you want with my friend Khalid, Fade Khalid, Dr. Khalid. I would say if you want a 5x, a 10x, push in a 12x, those are not bad projects. They will give you a 5 to 12x, I'll say 5 to 10x realistically in the bull run. It depends what your risk tolerance is. On my channel, I talk about the more riskier projects, but that can give you way more returns than the top 50 projects, the top 20 projects that most of the mainstream YouTubers talk about. I don't think that's it is obviously when you get to a certain point on YouTube, you have to bring a risk off tolerance to the average person that invests into this project, because the average crypto investor only buys the top 10 projects. This is why people who cater to that narrative tends to get way more views and get adopted way quicker than the likes of someone like me who, in their eyes, shows a bunch of shitcoins. But we will make way more money than those guys. That's there's categories in crypto. You have different niches. BlackRock is probably the closest thing to get inside information. I agree with you, bro. If BlackRock is holding, you should not be concerned about selling your crypto. That's all I'm gonna say. Shalom, how you doing, bro? Good to see you, my friend. Do you believe in Illuminati, bro? I'm not gonna talk about that on the stream. Which coins are my top picks? Yeah, so my friend, at the moment, my top picks are starting with the first project on the list was Tectum. Tectum, I spoke about it. Then it was Realio. Then it was Sensay. The next project on the list that we will talk about is OTK. OTK has retraced. It's not at massive amounts right now. This will potentially go lower. Right now it's in a consistent downtrend, but the market cap is below 10 million now. This is one of the best projects on the Solana ecosystem. When it comes to gaming, they are very, very close to the Solana Foundation. We know this because, these guys are going to be launched on the new Solana phone. Their app, the OTK gaming app, is going to be in the Solana phone. This will cause OTK to have a massive pump when this gets announced, and when Solana talks about this project, which they haven't done at the moment. We have other big factors about this project. The fact that it's only on KuCoin, this is something the team has mentioned, to me and to other people as well. They've said we've got exchange listings ready, lined up. We're just not going to do it now because all it's going to do is cause a tiny pump, 5% pump, 10% pump, and it's just going to lead to a sell off. And that whole exchange listing goes down the drain because these guys are smart. They understand how crypto works. The best time to get exchange listings is when the narrative is hot, when everyone is talking about gaming. If you look at this project across the board, this is one of the best performing projects during this massive dip. This had a dip at 1.5, 1.6 cents around those regions. I think it was 1.55 when I told you guys to buy on my stream. Since then, it went on to go all the way to like 55 cents, I think it was on KuCoin. That is ultimately like a 3.5x on your project, just over almost 4x actually, almost a 4x on your investment. And this is still holding up fairly well, but this is coming for a good DCA. Like I said, keep this on your watch list. You don't have to DCA now. I do think the market will change tomorrow, whether it goes up or down. It will go up. It'll be a sharp move tomorrow, whichever way direction it goes. depending on where unemployment comes. This is the next project on the list, my friend. That's 4 projects now. I will talk about one more, but let's go through some of the comment section again. I said yesterday that bro, TARS is the real deal. Like people are bullish on it. Nobody's allowing it to go under 10. Yeah, look, TARS is a very good project. This is one that I faded, but I found at like 3 cents. And I do get pissed off sometimes when this continues to hold. I could have been up almost 5x on this project realistically, but this is a good project. They did pay a bunch of influencers, but that doesn't matter. The price was holding on really well. No one wants to dump this project. It's backed by the Solana Foundation. Solana is a very bullish ecosystem, is the top performing chain. Therefore, I think it will continue to perform. But this is not a bad project to have in your portfolio, in my opinion. If you hold this, I do think it's a good project. I think I have it over here. Or did I take it off? Let me add it back on my honorable mentions. Had that my honorable mentions for months, but I took it off. I don't know why I took it off, but fundamentally, this is a good project. If it goes below a certain price, I will consider buying a bag. But it's holding up really, really well. The dilution is okay. It's about 3x, 3.5x dilution. It's not too bad. It's not going to give you the 50 or 100x, but it'll give you a nice 20 to 40x, I would say. Maybe 30x, I don't know. 20 to 30x maybe, for this project. Just because the dilution is it's not the best. Cookie Monster, you're here in the chat. I didn't see you. Where are you? Oh, Cookie, how you doing, my friend? That's also true as well. John Locke, how you doing, buddy? Hey G, I'm invested in TARS, Trias, sorry. What do you recommend me to do? Thank you. You're in the private group, my friend. Yeah, so I do think Trias is an old project. I did hold this once upon a time myself, but I did offload a very good bag during the dip around $10 to $11. I don't know what it was, or somewhere around here. I can't remember when it was. It was somewhere up here. I offloaded a massive amount. Now, this is a very old project. If China does not make crypto legal, the likely chances of this performing really well is very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Why? Because this project relies on China to adopt it as its main crypto project, the same way that Jasmine project is adopted by the Japanese country. So, Japanese look at Jasmine as the Bitcoin of their country. This is what Trias wants to be in China. But because China is very, anti crypto at the moment, it's very unlikely for this to perform well. If China does adopt this, it can do really well, my friend. But I don't like taking that risk because I would rather put it in a project that I know is going to pump rather than something that relies on something else to do well. So this is why I no longer hold Trias in my portfolio. I'm not going to mention who the whales are in my group, but there's quite a few in my group, my friend. Of course. It's not going to happen now, anyways. Look, the guy is already in the group. Everyone that joins new are not going to be. Yeah, the fake Khalid is here, Dr. Khalid. Delero, good to see you as well, my friend. Anand, how are you doing? What town hall level are you in the altcoin bull market? I'll probably get to town hall 15, my friend. Hopefully. If I don't gem everything. I'm canceling my subscription. You give too much alpha in public. I do give way too much alpha in public AA, but I'm not gonna I do these streams once in a while, bro. I'm not gonna give exact. I just tell people what to buy, for the best things. It doesn't matter because I don't give them prices. So I am gonna potentially cut down on the alpha on the private stream. But like I said, I can tell you guys what projects to buy. I'm not gonna tell you what prices to buy. There's a big difference. And you're not gonna get most of my new projects as well. I've given 3 new RWA projects in the group, or 2. I got rid of one and then replaced it with something else. But I got 2 brand new RWA projects in the private group. that I will not be releasing, and I got one more AI project that I will be releasing as well. And therefore we will have a complete portfolio. But I do agree with you, AA. I do give way too much alpha in the public stream. I do need to calm down a bit. Sometimes it's okay to help these guys, but not everyone has the money to pay for it. But like I said, I will be. I don't think I'll give out too much alpha anymore. I do agree with you, my friend. HGPT. Oh, I know this project. Yeah, there's a lot of projects that got the startup of Google and Microsoft, but startups is a big difference to like grants and stuff. But this is not a bad project, my friend. It's backed by Ton as well. It's not bad. It's not bad. The use case is not the best though. The use case is not the best. It's not like one that's gonna go parabolic. Power Web3 with artificial intelligence, a marketplace with AI seamless SDKs where you can access AI solutions. Yeah, this is not bad actually. I like the concept. Concept is pretty good. Chart looks pretty good as well. Had a very good rally, over a 10x. I think it's done like a 20x, so it's not too bad. Just under 20x. This can do really well, my friend. It's not too bad. It's just a little bit higher market cap for my likings. These type of projects I would only buy this project if it goes to like 5-6 million. Right now the chart's holding up really well. You swap Ton for that. Yeah, that's a good move, I reckon. That's a very good move. Crypto Cartel. How you doing, buddy? Is all dependent on China adoption at all? I don't think all is depending on China adoption at all. All is all is originally registered. They're a registered company in the US. They have some links to China. They have some links all over the world. They don't rely on China, no at all. They have some links, very good connections in China, but they are a registered company in America. They're fully patented. All their mines and miners and all their nodes and stuff. They got 2 US patents, so I don't think they rely on China at all. These freeloaders getting off. I do agree with you. To be fair, I need to cool off a bit. I give way too much alpha. I do agree with all you guys, but I'm gonna cool off for now. It's fine though. I mean, look, most of the time I come on stream, I just answer random stuff like that people comment in the comment section, like, "Wow, look at this coin, look at that coin." That gets really annoying. What I would rather do is talk about specific projects. So now let's get on to the last project before I wrap up this live stream. The last project that I would consider DCAing during this dip. Let me think. What would be the third project in the list? I'm the fifth project. I haven't really looked into the. I gave OTK Tectum, Sensay, Realio. So that's gaming. That's layer ones. That is RWA, and that is AI. What other category I can tell you guys to buy? That's it, really, isn't it? Why am I doing public streams at all, though? I do public streams to help people to be realistic. Let's be realistic with you, my friend. And you need to do public streams to grow your channel. I can't just do private streams every day and only focus on a private group because then my YouTube channel will never grow. That's why. But like I said, these are the projects I've been talking about for months now. So it's not like I'm giving any specific alpha. I tell people which way that the market is going to go. Look, whatever I tell you guys is only my base case. I can't predict the future. I could tell you guys one thing, the market could go another way. Like I said, no one can predict the future, my friend. We can give you the best estimated guess, but don't take my word as low because I can't predict the future and which way Bitcoin is going to go. No one can. People can go look at 1,000 charts and they still get it wrong. I just look at the basics, and most of the time I predict it very well. Do I agree that Tectum could reach $1,000 a coin? The likely chances of that happening, my friend, is very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Not in this bull run. If Tectum gets mass adopted and people use it and it continues to grow into the next cycle and it becomes a top 100 project, which it could happen, they've got a very good token utility. They've got a very good concept. The concept has the legs to get mass adopted, with the soft nodes. I could see in the future, but not in this bull run though. Anyone who tells you that Tectum can go to $1,000 a coin will ultimately be lying to you. That is a lot of X's because that's over 100x realistically from this point on. It's almost 200x. I don't think that's very likely, my friend. Very, very unlikely. I don't agree with that. No, that's very unlikely. I don't. Nah, that's not gonna happen, bro. Take them to $1,000 is very unlikely. The fear and greed index is 29%. If it goes to like 26%, it's classed as extreme fear. So we're very close to extreme fear. The altcoin market has taken a shit. Let's go on trading view. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. The altcoin market is struggling right now. It's something that continues to drop. It recovers slightly, then it goes lower. Right now it's holding this region, but it's trending lower. It looks like it wants to go lower. This is why I say don't DC at the moment. Better have to wait. No alt buying advice. Take a big hit after Nvidia and Telegram ready to rebound. Yeah, my friend. What the fuck, bro? Kodo, I'm not looking at all those coins, bro. Why did you just spam 6 coins or 5 coins? Yo, that's funny. That is, you just spam 5 coins. I'm not looking. I can't look at all 5 of them, my friend. I'm not a coin reviewer, bro. I'm not a coin reviewer. I need to start skipping comments because I tend to. What I've realized is I tend to get the same people, like 2 streams down the line, that ask the same questions about the same coins. It's like I've already spoken about it. I've already given you my answer. Like, what is the likely chance that within 2 days I'm going to change my mind about a certain coin? Very, very unlikely. So, I would potentially, I'm going to start skipping comments. And, no buying or advice. I've given the advice, my friend. I said, don't DCA anything that's consistently going down. And all is consistently going down now. So don't DCA anything until it stabilizes. You guys can see it's just hovering around this region for the past day. Went back, recovered to 8.8. Now everyone's going down, probably going to bounce back up. Let it consolidate for a bit of time before you start buying more. There's no point just accumulating a project that continues to go lower, my friend. Super chat monetary for coin review. Join the private stream. Not a bad idea, to be fair. G could attract 1,000 members for YouTube to a private group, but still limiting to 3. Those 3 is going to be super lucky people. Yeah, because the point is, if you get 1,000 people in a private group, it is possible when the bull run starts. I could have easily 500, 600, 1,000 people in my group. Why? Because I give very good alpha on my streams. Just imagine the amount of alpha I give in the private group. It's going to be way more than what I give in a public stream. But the fact is, the more people you have, the more headache the group becomes, and the more likely chance that your group just becomes a pump and dump group. And I don't like having that concept of everyone looking at me as a pump and dumper, because that's not what I like to do. You guys know, those people that's in my private group will know, every single time I give a buy alert, I stress to people, please put limit orders. Do not pump the price up, because it's unfair for people. Like, this is the thing, right? A lot of groups, because they got so many people, they have so many people in the group. What they do is they give a buy alert and everyone starts market buying, and the price does like a 2x, 3x in a very short period of time. Some of the people who wake up and they see the charts 50%, they buy because they think, oh, it got to be near the bottom, so that means I have to buy, and they buy a large chunk, and then that's the problem. So having 300 people, I can cater to those 300 people separately. Some people have different portfolio sizes. A lot of people DM me privately to talk privately. If I have 1,000 people, I can't reply to 1,000 people, but I can reply to 300 people because, not all 300 is going to message me. At least 10, 20 will message me. It's not a problem. That's also true, DJ. I'm not going to give no more alpha on public stream too much, my friend. I think, my friend, Tet has done pretty well, to be honest. I think Tet has done really well. Despite all the FUD that it's got, no product, no whatever, they've launched a product now. And the same thing is going to happen with AI tech when the data center goes live. All the FUD is just going to get brushed off because it's all short-term price action. When the price is going down, people get bearish. They don't look at the development of the project. That's the most important thing during bearish markets. This is the most important thing during bearish markets. I can't stress this enough. Is if the team is still developing. A lot of the projects just ghost when the market's dead. They give a load of shit updates. They repost bullshit, but they don't give actual product development. They don't give partnerships. They don't do none of that stuff. That's the type of stuff we need to look for. But just look at this. Peeps, you're getting so much alpha here. Try imagine what's going on in the private group. Yeah, look, in the private group, I do 3 private streams every single week. Private streams, I help people separately in terms of the portfolio. We probably talk about 1,000 coins in there. Best accumulation right now, Sev. I would probably say Sensay's. Look, John, just rewind the video. I talk about the best projects you could DCA this month. And I don't want to buy alt right now because it's in a downtrend. I don't like buying projects that's in a downtrend. So let it consolidate somewhere before buying. Like you buy now and then it goes to 6 cents, you're going to be crying. You'd rather wait for it to go 6 cents and then buy, then you won't be crying. When it consolidates at a price, eventually it will be stabilized. Nothing goes down forever, my friend. What's Illivium doing? Let's have a look. We need to get a crypto god to get Finger back on here. Fucking hell, $36, bro. This is tanking hard. This was like $80 a couple months ago. Gala holds up very well, to be fair. No one really wants to dump this shit. I think M0 can do a lot of X's if they go live with a product game. And yeah, look, M0 has a very interesting concept, but I'm not really too bullish on this project, bro. This is just look at the trading volume. I'm not surprised this is not rugged yet. The trading volume's awful. They could have easily got an exchange listing by now. They haven't got shit. And I'm personally not gonna touch this project, bro. These guys they don't even have a testnet, never mind a real product. They don't even have a testnet. Leox, yeah, Leox took a massive shit. I don't know what happened to it. This is basically an all-time lows, no. Oh no, this is way lower than his all-time lows. Damn. Yeah, look, this is in a downtrend, my friend. Don't buy stuff that's in a downtrend. Let it consolidate, then buy it. Don't buy it at the moment. Could recover, but with the current market conditions, I wouldn't really put my base on there. All right, boys, let's wrap up this live stream. Appreciate all of you that came down. If you guys want to join the private group, feel free. There's 25 spots left. Not many, these fill up very quickly. Right now, the market is very, very boring, very dead. So that's why it's a bit slow. But as the market develops and the market gets more bullish, the viewers are going to go up. Everything's going to go up. And like I said, I'm not going to open no more spots for people. This is a very limited thing. For the early people that watch my channel, feel free to join if you want. If not, then, I got to go anyways, but I'll see you guys very soon. Yes, Jav, what are you saying, bro? Real G. That's a real G right there. I think most people's portfolio, that come in there is all over the place because they buy. A lot of people brought back in March and they got wrecked. But thank you guys very much. Let me. Where's my ending screen?